Yeah, so China has a lot of problems. They're going to need to cut a deal with us. They can't push us away. We're their biggest consumer of their goods. They need our money. They absolutely need our money. Hey, Rich is back. Rich is talking. Well, I had planned on talking about the tariffs, the tariff war that Trump has going on, but so much happened the last couple of days. Trump is really something. This morning he was in Saudi Arabia talking to all the people from the Middle East, and they just gave him standing ovations, and they love him over there. The big deal is that he has dropped all sanctions against Syria, which has been a problem nation for a number of years, and he's saying, we're giving you a chance to shine now and make something of yourself. They've been in nothing but a civil war for years. But the interesting thing on tariffs, first of all, a couple of days ago, it was announced that the UK, the United Kingdom, cut a deal with us on our tariffs, where they were unfair toward us, and so we threatened them with very high tariffs, and now they've agreed to it. That we thought that was a big deal, but then yesterday they announced an agreement was made with China, and the following is the agreement that was made. We'll read that to you. The U.S. and China reached a deal to temporarily reduce tariffs, a move considered a de-escalation of their trade war. The agreement, signed in Geneva, will see the U.S. lower its tariff rate from 145% to 30%, and China from 125% to 10% for an initial period of 90 days. This reduction is a significant drop from the previously imposed tariffs, which had sparked fears of a global recession. So that's really good news. China's always a threat. People worry about them attacking Taiwan, which could bring us into war with China. China thinks they own it. Taiwan, by the way, used to be called Formosa back after World War II. And when the communists took over China, Chiang Kai-shek, who was the good guy in China, friends of the United States, escaped to this island. It took a lot of people with him, and he changed the name to Taiwan. And they made themselves a powerful nation in terms of technical issues and manufacturing and chips. They're the number one manufacturer of chips in Taiwan. So it's a very important area in the world and very important for us. So that's always a worry with China. But I thought you'd be interested in this video I'm going to play for you about China and the problems they're facing.
When you think about China, you have to think about it in two spheres. You have to think about domestic China and how they operate their own economy, their own internal situation on the mainland. And then you think about China Inc. as they interface with the rest of the world. And it's important to think about it in those two buckets. So China's banking system is twice as large as ours in an economy substantially smaller than ours. Almost 40% of bank assets in China are lent to domestic real estate. So if your real estate market's down 30 to 50 and your economy is 3.5 times levered to your banks and your banks are insolvent, you have a real problem. And their problem is larger than ours was during the global financial crisis. Their dealings with the rest of the world are vital to them. And what I mean by that is they import about 13 million barrels of crude oil every day. They're the world's largest importer of crude oil. They import almost 9 BCF of LNG every day. They are the largest importer of LNG in the world. They import 40% of their food every single day. And all of those imports they have to pay dollars for. So where do they get the dollars is the question. And they have to keep a robust trade relationship in dollars with us to be able to pay for their daily operations with the rest of the world. But they've made a lot of money by being the world's factory floor. They made it two ways, right? They've been the world's factory floor since 2002. And then they started stealing IP. And their IP, if you think about this, if you stole $200 to $300 billion worth of IP every year, and you make a return on it by employing it, using it, and even making it potentially better, they've got a machine where they were factory workers and stealing IP. And the way you think about China Inc., they've had a positive net income, right? So meaning if you and I were running a country, we need to have more dollars coming in than leaving. That's how you think about the current account. And they've taken that money and they've spent it on modernizing their military. So their capital investment has been make money while the sun is shining, make some hay while the sun's shining, and then modernize your military and force project so that you can achieve your potential goal of global primacy at all costs. And they're going to come up a day late and a dollar short, but it's going to be a potential kinetic situation if and when they take Taiwan. And I think that's coming.
Yeah, so China has a lot of problems. They're going to need to cut a deal with us. They can't push us away. We're their biggest consumer of their goods. And they need our money. They absolutely need our money. So we think that that's probably good, or that is good. President Xi of China and Trump, there's been rumors they're going to have a phone call this week, but there's no real proof of that yet. We're waiting to hear something good about it. Then the other hotspot, India and Pakistan, have been hated each other for years. They both have nuclear weapons. It's always a scare. We're friends with both of them, which makes it difficult, but they started attacking each other and starting a full-scale war. But you have to give credit to Senator Rubio and J.D. Vance, the vice president. They went over there and talked all through the night with both sides and got them to agree to a ceasefire. So Trump's cabinet is proving again how meaningful it is in the world. And he's putting to shame prior administration.